Which makes for a very interesting show.
As always. And yes, welcome, y'all. It is time to breathe again on the second episode of the BOFASports Origin Story series. So you see us together. It is Patrick and Charles, and we did have a guest scheduled, but they couldn't make it. So it's all right. Life throws curveballs. Plans can change quickly.
Well, it's my favorite word, Charles, but I hate it so much.
So we had to pivot. And
hate that word. But you love to embrace it.
Yes. So we had to pivot a little bit. And we figured we could come on and I guess just give a little bit about our experiences with it.
Let's be honest about the whole thing, Charles. We've been doing this for how long, and we never really told people who we are?
No, we haven't. So, we gave a little bit of a preview.
Here you go. You get everything you need right here. Boom.
We gave a little preview, and that was just for series purposes in terms of letting you know what this series is about. And I will give a more detailed description about that at the end of the show, just to tie everything up together, just in case there is any confusion. But just keep the human element in mind when I talk about it.
Just get us there.
Yeah. So, but with that, Patrick, you know what? One thing that I have learned from our friendship and now brotherhood over these 20
we're jumping right into it. Like, yeah. Okay. I was waiting for you to ask me a question like, how did you feel when I wanted you to do this webcast with me? I was like, oh, well, I was ready for that. No, go ahead. Go ahead and talk about you, Charles.
No, Patrick, I was going to bring a question to you. It just wasn't that one.
But guess what? My question is,
what you got?
What was your opinion when you asked me that? And I went, hell yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
Yes. Which was actually my exact words.
It really was. Yes.
Hell yeah, I need that in my life.
What Patrick is referencing is when I had asked them to come on here and help me out with this show. And it's tough. Look, listen, man, going live and doing this show, it is not for everybody. As a matter of fact, it's, I would say, at least what, Patrick, 75, 80%, maybe a little bit more than that. There's no way they could do it because it is being on camera. Yeah, you're on camera. What is happening? Like with us right now, that is going out to the world. No editing, no nothing. And
you know how we love to edit.
It's
what is this called, Charles?
What'd you say?
What is this called?
BOFASports.
It's called the Dookie Look.
Oh, the Dookie Look. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's been so long. We got to bring that back. But we look. It's not easy being live and talking about these things. So for the people who can come on and share these stories, like Stan Franklin did last week, so much credit because hey, they're kind of in the hot seat. Even as much as we may say, hey, it's just like a conversation, and it is. Like with us, it is just like a conversation. But when that light comes on, it can get people, and I can understand people being nervous. Shoot, I've been doing this for a while, and there's still some times where I can get a little bit.
Oh, and I call him out every time.
And Patrick calls me out every
time, bro. I call him out.
Patrick, let's not act like you don't have your moments either sometimes.
Shoot, whatever. Dude, like one time the entire time we've been doing this? Whatever. Okay, cool. Call me out on that. That's fine.
Yeah. But no, Patrick.
Let me say this, and then we gotta get to the story. Okay. I will say this. If anything gets me, it's when me and my son challenge each other in Bro Epic. I want to murder that kid sometimes. And no, not seriously. Not seriously. But with a dodgeball, I want to hit him so bad. And I just overcompensate in that freaking camera gets it every time, and I'm like,
you're like squeezing.
I'm white knuckling that ball. I'm like, oh man, I am going to put a hole in his face.
Well, Patrick, you know what? That statement leads me into the question I was going to ask you, because so much about sports, so much about life in general is that mental, just how you are able to harness those emotions. Yes, you can go to the gym, you can work out, you can jog, you can do whatever drill there is to make sure you are in the best shape possible physically. But so much of sports and life in general is about the mental game. Just how do you go about harnessing those emotions and putting out the best performance that you can, whether it is in Bro Epic or in when you were playing sports, when you were playing baseball or going out playing football, even if it's out here on the street playing like sideline crush or something. How do you harness those emotions?
All right, for Bro Epic, I don't. I'll tell you how I harness it. I do have to edit that show because our shorts have to be like 1 minute, right? And our games are like 10, 15 minutes long, right? And all we do is just hit the record button, right? And so like when you're looking at what Bro Epic is, it's a lot like this show. You know, it's one of the things, and I'll say this, and then I'm going to answer your question. When Charles asked me to do this show, my literal words was, "Hell yes, I need that in my life," right? and ask Charles. That was literally my words. Hell yes, I need that in my life. I need a platform where I can run my mouth. That's what I told him. Okay? But I did say this. I could only really do it if there's a really, really raw situation that goes with it. And he said, no problem, because I want that too. And right then is when I knew, like right there is where I could voice my opinion and have that platform that allowed me to do that. Okay. Now me and my son started Bro Epic, and I still get that platform. It's a little bit different, but I do have to edit it because it's a one-take show. So it may not be live, but it is a one-take show. And it baffles a lot of people on how I put these shows out when it's really just one take. And then I have to cut a lot of stuff out and there's a lot of good material that I have that, I've cut out. So harnessing that, now I'm going to answer your question, but harnessing that with Bro Epic, I don't get the chance to. It's one take. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to make that one take into the best version of that one take I can. Now, when it came to baseball, which everybody knows, that's my love sport right there. Like, baseball got me through so much in my life. And I've played at some really high levels with baseball, and I've enjoyed every bit of that. And one of the things that I've always prided myself on is that I got to hang up my cleats when I wanted to. And a lot of people don't get to do that. So harnessing that emotion started at a very young age when my coaches taught me we don't work out with music. We don't do that with earbuds in our ears, because we want that mental state that says you can quit. You can stop. This is not worth it. You can't continue to keep doing this. It was up to us, even at young ages, even when I played my first year of travel ball, at young ages, it was up to us to tell our mind and train our mind to say, I don't work for you, you work for me. And I can do this, and I am going to do this. And this is what it's going to take for me to get there. So we started learning how to, I don't want to say bottle our emotion, but I don't want to say control either, because we couldn't control it. It's hard to control that emotion, especially when you're in those situations that says you can't. And yet we still do. You know, and there's a motivation Monday that I put out for Bro Epic that literally, and the words are, you have literally survived 100% of your worst days. And that's true. because you're still here today. So that's what my coaches instilled in me was train your mind as much as you train your body so that you can perform at those levels. And your mind is always going to be your worst enemy, but it's also going to be your best friend as well.
You know, the thing that you mentioned is like, because you see so many people build that mental state around music. And I'm not trying to knock the people who use the music. I mean, yeah, there's some songs that I like. Maybe you have some hype songs.
Oh, dude. I mean, if you want to run 3 miles, put on Nicki Minaj. I don't know what it is about that music, man, but you just forget what you're doing and you just roll, bro.
It looks like, before I go on, it looks like we got a little bit of love from Twitch. It's like maybe they're letting us know. Yeah, all right. Yep. Yeah. All right. So I guess it's one of those things where they're saying they could boost up the stats for us if they want to.
Yeah, we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And thanks for tuning on in. But yeah, I think the mental state of going out there, even when you practice, because you always hear, hey, when you practice good, the game's easy. That's what they say, even though there's definitely some more competition. That's when you're playing against other people. But when you go out there and you practice, and I even do this now, Patrick, is I go to the gym or maybe I go on a run. There's no music there. I like the gnat sound because that's the ultimate test of the mind over the matter. You go into the gym, you see everybody walking around with headphones on, earbuds, trying to listen to their music. And again, I get it because you're trying to sit there and get yourself into a mood. You're trying to get yourself hyped up for it. But if you're not, to me, if you're not naturally just into it, if you're not coming in there, if you're not already hyped, like basically from the time that you get out of bed and you start getting dressed, you start training yourself up to go, getting ready to go. You drink Gatorade or whatever protein shake that you have to go. But if you're not already there, then when are you going to get there? And then it just depends on, you're basically depending on that music to kind of get you going. Now, that to me, that should be a natural, I get to go to the gym, I get to work out, let's get it. When you get in there, I know a lot of the weights and stuff are made out of the sand material and stuff, and you got the rubber material that's over it. But back in the day, you had the iron, and just listening to that iron, the clanging of the iron against the bar as you're getting it ready, the chalk that you use to get the hands good, ready to go. That
I wish I had all that when I was growing up. You know what our coaches made us do?
What'd you have?
And I really thought about starting a business called the Flintstones Gym.
Yeah.
And we worked with rocks and sticks and stuff like that. I literally was like, man, I should probably do that. But we used we would use netting. We would put rocks in netting and throw it over a tree. And he would make us. It was hard. I mean, you think about throwing a rope over a branch and lifting up rocks. I mean, you got enough resistance in the branch and the rope alone.
Yeah.
You know, because there's nothing that is like lubing that rope. You are literally pulling it. And I mean, you know, we used to do stuff like that. I mean, I remember
Patrick. We did say there's no telling what might be said. So good catch.
Well, it's true. I mean, I remember my very first coach stepping on the field, and I've told you this story. We called it the Raper Van, and don't cancel us because I said that. But he would get out of the van and he'd have that big, huge tractor tire, and he would roll it, and then he'd tell everybody to grab a knee. And so we would grab a knee, and he would talk until that tire stopped and fell. And he goes, all right, well, looks like my tire fell. Get on the line. I want push-ups, set-ups, squats, leg lifts, something. You got to be doing something at all times while one person runs down, flips the tire, and then comes back. The next one can go. He goes, I want my tire all the way back up here so I can put it in my van. We was out there for 3 or 4, 5 hours, like struggling to flip that tire to get it back to the end zone so that we could put it in his truck. And after we're tired, and he's like over there sipping lemonade in his chair. You know what I mean? It's like that's this type of stuff I remember.
Dude, I mean, and like even that, like there's no music, there's no nothing. It's basically let's just go ahead, let's just get up and go. And you got to get this done. And the training of the mind to understand those things are just part of the training. Without music, without nothing, like out there, you're outside, so it's nothing but wind
and crickets.
Yeah, right.
And gnats and flies, and you're like, why am I out here doing this? But man, we were good,
right? And see, that's the thing, because going through that and understanding that, like if you're just naturally there. And then you can be current and you can be present and concentrate on all this stuff. The way I look at it, Patrick, even when you're playing either playing sports or training for it, if you can, there's distractions all around going on, particularly if you're in the gym. So you got the clanging of weights. You have the person who is listening to the music, trying to recite every little Yachty verse. So you got to hear that. And then you got the
guys, figuring out, how big their arm is.
Yeah.
In between their 2 reps for 15-minute breaks. And I'm like, are you really seeing results? And I'm like, are you really seeing results? I don't know.
You have people who walk around who aren't there to work out. They're just there to look pretty. And this could be men or women who are just there just to look pretty on their phone all the time, not doing no exercises. There's a lot of distractions that are around. But as you're going on through, you do your training, you find ways around it. You sit there, you get into your thoughts, you get into your mind, and it could be something, just a count, like a minute count, because you're trying to keep the flow going between sets. So even that, and then that's when things can creep on in. You finish that rep, you finish that set, if you're going through and you're training, and then you take that little bit of a rest. That's where all those other distractions can come in there. And also God, do I want to do this next set? Can I do this next set? My arms are sore, or my chest is sore, or my legs are sore, whatever it is that you're working on. And all that is combining. And then when you get to that 55-second mark, if you're taking a minute in between, you're just saying, all right, let's go get it. But there's no music there. And so you're in there with your thoughts. That's that mental part of everything that you do. It happens in sports, it happens in life. And you just have to have that mental toughness to say, no, I have a goal. I'm going in here. I want to knock out 45 minutes to an hour for a workout. And we're going to go through whatever it takes. And
at that point, you're already at the gym, so you're committed. So just go ahead and finish the commitment. Cleveland Brown fans, let's go.
Yeah, Cleveland.
All right, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Football was your sport, right? And I mean, obviously, you've had several coaches. First of all, what was that first coach what's that one coach that sticks out in your mind? But when it comes to playing football, and how did he mold you into the person that you are today?
I think so. I had a coach in England. Late
in life. Okay.
Yes. And don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, even in high school and going through even like Pee Wee football and stuff, there were some coaches that had some impacts. But this particular one, when I was in England, probably had the biggest impact on multiple levels. So his name was Coach Donaldson, Harry Donaldson. And he came onto the team. I was playing in Cambridge. So for those who don't know, like Cambridge is a city, I'd say I give it about an hour or so from London.
I mean, maybe hour north of London. Yeah.
So there was a league that was there where they had teams in all these different cities, including some parts of London. But Cambridge was the one where I was playing at. We had a coach named Harry Donaldson who came on halfway through the season, and he was just great in so many ways, Patrick. He came up to me, and he was a DB coach too, and I was playing corner. So that right there kind of got everything going. Mm-hmm. But he was just so good in sitting there and teaching me just these different techniques on how to play that position. So technically, in terms of the coaching, he was great. But the one thing that he always stressed, and it wasn't necessarily a quote that he had said, but the one thing he had always stressed was taking care of people and looking out for people, not just from the football sense, but how to train off the field and ultimately how to get the mentals good. In terms of not just getting ready to prepare or preparing for battle, but when you're off the field, how are you going about your daily life? Like, how are you going about daily life? How are you going, how are you attacking it, and making sure that you're putting out the energy that you would want returned to you. So if you want to go and, you be kind to people, I guess treat people the way you would want to be treated, type of thing. And just being around him and seeing how he approached things as a coach, because he was a pretty intense guy, and I guess most coaches are.
Most coaches are,
but it's hard for a lot of coaches and just us in general as people to show the vulnerabilities, to show that vulnerable side, and to say maybe a little bit of a softer touch would work here. We're told so much as we go about life, especially as men. We are told, get up, keep bouncing back. We're Teflon.
It's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up.
Yes, shake it off. Just do not worry about it. Don't show no emotion. You're basically robotic out here.
Yeah, there's no crying in baseball.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, yes. All of us. Yeah, all of us.
And
even with a broken nose.
Yeah, exactly.
I did tell you this story when I broke my nose at baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
But share it again.
My coach was like, I looked at him, I was like, with my nose like this. He goes, I was like, Coach, I need to go to the doctor. And he goes, last time I checked, face mask doesn't rest on your nose. Coaches can be intense.
Yes. I mean, super intense. And I think every now and again, because you always wonder, looking with the coaches at being that way, where do they disconnect? And that's a hard thing too, Patrick, because I think we get caught up, and that will get to the bigger point about this show when we get to it. But I think we have a problem disconnecting from what we've become, whether that's through the career or through coaching or whatever walk of life. We believe we are, let's say, Charles Taylor, the journalist, or especially if you are in sports, we get used to that lifestyle, whether we are invested in playing it or even if we're just watching it as fans. We are so well invested into that, we start to believe we are that guy. And we forget that we are all human beings.
Yeah.
We forget we all have hearts, we all have minds, and we all have souls. And those are the things that are going to carry on regardless of what you do, regardless of how long you play. There's going to have to be a disconnect there where you understand you are a human being. We are all human beings no matter what. We were human beings before we became football players, baseball players, basketball players, and God willing, we're going to be human beings afterwards. And like you said, Patrick, you got to walk away from the sport on your terms. And like you said, that's not lost on you. No, there's not a lot of people who can say that in any walk of
any sport, anything. Yeah, anything. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, even when it comes down to, and we'll say, you know, people have probably heard us say this a lot of times. There's only like a couple of things that bring us together, not only as people, but I mean, like a country. Like, and sports is one of those things that brings us all together. I mean, look at what happened during the World Cup. You know, I mean, that is a melting pot of people in this area. And, you know, it was funny watching all the Spaniards like crash Buc-ee's.
Yes. Just the Spanish crushing Waffle House.
Waffle House. I mean, it's crazy, you know, how those things, because, you know, food. Well, let me tell you, food brings everybody together, man. Now, once you get a full belly on, you know, in my family reunions, they don't last long after the full bellies.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go to jail, you know. That's the reason why we don't have them anymore. But it's sports is one of those things that brings people together, and you'll get to meet people. I mean, dude, I go to Georgia games, and I'm always sitting beside somebody different. You know what I mean? And that's what I love. You know, as long as I get on the Georgia side, I don't care where I sit. Don't put me up there in the place where I can't see anything, and like I'm having to dodge like airplanes flying through my head. Other than that, man, like I love getting to go to those Georgia games. I love, you know, how sports brings out traditions. Those kind of things those are the things that I love. That's the reason why I love baseball, and I love college sports, pretty much all of them. And I love hockey, you know. Football, I do love football, don't get me wrong, but it's like third, fourth on the list, because it started to do baseball is my love. I love baseball, love hockey, and then football is right behind that.
You know, one thing I'll say also, going back to Coach Donaldson and just how he coached. So he was an intense guy, but when I say intense, it wasn't intense in the way of getting in your face with it. You got to do this and you got to do that. Just in there. And I know you've seen like the movies and stuff where coaches are in your face, spit is flying all over the place. They're throwing stuff. They're tearing up the rooms.
You wish you had face windshield wipers so you can get all that spit off of your face. Yeah.
But
that's ones I had.
You know, so he was intense, but he was intense with the details. So one thing that he would do is, like, so when the defense is called, and I would go on offense sometimes as well, but primarily I was playing DB, defensive back. And when I would go line up on in one of the corners, he would be right there. And I mean, like Patrick, knee, like on one knee, sitting here looking at the technique. And so I would get ready, especially if I was playing bump and run coverage. I would get ready and I'd be like right here. And he said, "Okay, Charles, I like it." And then he's still coaching. As we're going through the play, he's like, "Yeah, outside shoulder, stay on that outside shoulder, Charles." And then he was like, good. That's what I'm talking about. But he was so about the details with it. And he would coach hard, but like at the end, he would sit there and he would say, you know why I was on you, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." I misstepped a little bit and I would kind of miss the jam, or like I would know. The good thing about it is I would kind of know what I was doing, and he knew that too, because he knew that I was going to put the work into it and I was going to work on that technique. So he really, he even though he was big on the details with it, he knew he didn't have to be that much on me about it, because I was trying to teach myself with it as well. And he just sat there, he took that, and he was able to harness not just a better football player, but a better human, because it would be those life lessons, understanding the details, and we'd have to carry that same mentality a lot of times as we're going through those daily battles, which is part of why I say sports is part of life, but not life itself. Some of that came from those experiences with Coach Donaldson there.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I had some pretty intense coaches, but my intensity was a lot different. I mean, I was trained by some really good coaches, and my problem was that I got very, very cocky. I knew I was the best, and that's where I started failing. Now, don't get me wrong, I was a good catcher, but it boiled down to my attitude was so bad because I was so good, and it cost me a lot. I mean, it cost me a lot, and I could go into detail about it, but it was one of those things where if I could take it back, I still don't know I would. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that, my coaches always said is like, you can live with regret. The problem is would you go back and change it if you could? And I could tell you, even with all the experiences that I had and, wanting to do what I wanted to do in baseball, even today, dude, I look back on that and I'm like, I would have liked to have seen where that would have went, but I don't regret anything, because if I would have went, let's just say hypothetically, I go play college, right? I'm not sitting here today doing this show. You know what I mean? And then I have a cousin who's going to tell pretty much a good story about just that in a couple of weeks. And, there's a lot of things that he's going to mention. And the question is, how do you feel now? And how do you take what you went through in your life to who you are today? And that's where it really got hard for me for a while, because I always was like, if I could take it back, I'd play college football, baseball, right? But now today I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I love my career that I'm in. I love doing the things that I do. My kids, and there's a lot of reasons why things didn't go in the way that I wanted them to, because, my plan was a little different than what my plan was. And I'm good with that. That's where it got hard. As I got older, I started learning, like, I have to be okay in this area of my life. And I wouldn't take anything back. Years ago, I would have. Today, I won't. I love where I'm at. I don't even know if I'd be doing this show if I went in a different direction. And this show, me and my son, is like, to me, even if this show never blows up and nothing ever comes out of it, it's already scored high on my goal, because I get to play with my kid every single day. We get to put it on film and we get to do those things, and that's fine. But it's not about the filming. It's about the time I'm sitting and spend with my kid. And I got my older son who is filming a lot of it. But, he even makes an appearance in some of these shows. He doesn't want to be on camera, but sometimes I force him to be on camera. But I enjoy being a dad. I enjoy being a network engineer. I enjoy doing Bro Epic and those things. I could never tell you that I wish something would have happened different, because what I do today, I love doing it. It is some of the funnest time that I ever have. So I'm good where I'm at now.
I mean, and that's the thing with doing these shows. Also, like, we have a genuine love for doing the show. So for us, we get caught up. We get caught up in how many people watch the show, or how many subscribers or followers or whatnot. It just everybody gets caught up in the social media world, and it's about exposure.
Dopamine.
Yeah, right. But I think the cool thing with us is we're with these products, we're already complete. If it does blow up, bonus.
Yeah,
it's a bonus. But we just genuinely like coming on here and doing these products. And if we are able to spread the word about the product and products, then that's all bonus for us. If it is able to take off, then cool. But we just like coming on here, like for BOFASports, we just like coming on here and just talking ball. And what you're seeing, quick reminder, what you are seeing from Patrick and me right now, this is how we talk normally.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this. This is how we talk to each other on the phone, or if we're in each other's faces.
Kind of really how the idea came about was, and I'll tell the story in a really, really quick nutshell.
Yeah, no problem.
Charles wrote a article about Brett Favre, and I did not read articles. I don't read articles. So when I tell you it was probably one of the best articles I've ever read, it probably was, right? But now don't let me take out of context of what that article really was. It was phenomenal. It really was. He's such a great writer, right? And he sent it to ESPN. They loved what he did. But I think that was more of like, okay, if these people like it, maybe I could start my own show. And he brought it up to me one day, and I told you how I said yes. And we were talking on the phone, and he made a comment, and this is when I knew, like, okay, cool, I can handle this. He goes, just make sure that when we do the show, we do it the way we would talk on the phone. I was like, dude. I had a bad mouth at that time too. I have cleaned it up a lot since. I mean, I might drop a few words here or there, but I have cleaned it up a lot since. And he said that was literally his words. He was like, just make sure you bring that same energy as if you were on the phone. Bring it to a webcast. We got on our very first webcast, and we probably worked on the idea for about 7-8 months, something like that. And we did our very first webcast. First 10 minutes, going back on the beginning of the show where that red light comes on, people freeze up.
Yeah,
there was my one time I froze.
Yes.
No, it wasn't really a freeze up. It was more of like everything was just, we were trying to figure out how we were going to proceed. And then Charles asked me one question about RG3.
Yeah.
And after that, you should go back and watch that one. You want to talk about who gets canceled? I said some things that probably should get canceled pretty quickly.
And y'all, that is the initial, like the very first webcast we done. And you could tell when we got on there, we were both, all right, we're here. Okay, it's live. This is happening. Let's go. And so after,
well, let me tell you, that live sitting like right there, that scares you. To me, it's not really that big of a deal anymore.
Yeah.
It's not gonna kill you. I guess what most people would have the fear of is the comments that come with it. But if you watch any of our shorties, yeah. Leave the feedback and comments. We love all the feedback, or how do I say it? We love all the feedback and respond to all the comments. Put them in there. I don't care.
I say good. I said, hey, comment, good, bad, or indifferent.
I say good, bad, or ugly. I don't care. Bring it.
And we do respond. So
Now, I will say this: Charles has to let me know to respond. Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm trying my best to get to all of it, but taking into consideration, me and my wife own 2 hair salons. I own my own computer business. I'm working with a friend who owns a computer business. Trying to get mine to where it's like out of the picture completely, but I'm still trying to get that done. I own Bro Epic, and me and my cousin is starting a really cool business called Baseball Basic, where we do it's a baseball school. So I have my hands in a lot of stuff, so it's not just I see that every day. So he does have to remind me, and that's the reason why you get what you get when he sends me the topics. I try my best to read them. Most of the time I do. I'd say about 95% of the time I do. And there's always one topic where Charles says, just follow me on this. Okay, let's go. I love it. Let's get it. That's always why I say let's get it. So, but yeah, that's a little bit of a background on how this show came in, and what sports has done for me. I mean, it got me through a lot of problems. It kept me a good kid, even though I was a very cocky and arrogant kid. It kept me out of trouble for the most part. I did do a lot of stupid things in my life, but sports has always been a part of it. It doesn't matter what it was, whether I got shot out of a tree with a paintball gun, or jumping off roofs of houses on my BMX bike, to going into the woods and playing football where trees are our defenders as well. And yeah, I've hurt myself on that one quite a few times. Wide open, but I was not wide open. Not when I hit that tree. But we would play like that because it was always something like we always was trying to challenge ourselves. Can I fit this ball in between those 2 trees, hit him while he's on the run and he doesn't hit a tree? And we're playing 7-on-7 with trees in the forest. I mean, it's dumb. I mean, it really is. Shooting BB guns at each other. That's just what we did when I was young. I still got 3 BBs in my arm, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, that's just what we did, and I loved it. And that's one of the main reasons why I love sports. Sports is just something that was always there for me, and it kept me physically and mentally strong, even when a lot of the things in my life was kind of falling apart as well.
And and the competition of it too, seeing who can get who during different battles on.
And I'm a trash talker. Whew.
Yeah. Yes, this I know. But yeah, just like you said, sports. I mean, even like growing up, and then even during our days in the military, like going to the gym and playing basketball against each other, among other sports. When we could be out like trying to go to the clubs. Don't get us wrong, we had our party time, but
we played hard.
Yeah, but going and playing sports or doing some sort of training for it, it kept things grounded, kept things moving, and like you said, keeps you out of trouble and keeps things on an even keel to where you're not getting into something that you probably shouldn't be into. Anyway.
Yeah.
But man, this is great, man. And so this will conclude.
Oh, hold on. Well, before you conclude, I do have to say this. Over the course of the week, I did have a friend ask me, and we were just chit-chatting about sports and stuff like that. And he asked me, he was like, well, tell me, what is your opinion on why kids are better at sports today than they were when you were growing up? And now I just have a theory on it. Now I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know. And if you Charles, you tell your opinion as well. But I told him, I was like, when I was growing up, I played every sport. I played football, I played basketball, I played baseball, I played field hockey, I played lacrosse, I played them all. And don't get me wrong, I freaking like give me something with a stick and I can hit a ball, and I'm pretty freaking good at it. Tennis, pickleball, baseball, golf. I love all of them. I mean, like when I tell you I love sports, like I love them.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, well, when I was growing up, I played all the sports that they would allow me to play. I played soccer, I played baseball, I played ball. And one of the biggest reasons why I did that was because my coach he allow us to do it outside of spring training. So like if spring training, we didn't have a sport we played in or we didn't make a team, then we would have to do spring training with him. And I just wasn't doing that. He was a Nazi in spring training. So I would go and play other sports. And what I told him is like, as I was growing up, I played many sports. But the kids today, they don't play many sports. They'll play a few. They'll play like their main sport is baseball, but they'll go out and play football on the side. But when baseball season is in session, they're training for it. And even then, they're still training for baseball during football season, right? I was like, they dedicate their life to one sport now. And they get to a point where they're mastering this at 12, 13 years old, where we're not mastering it until, we weren't mastering our sports until we were like 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, we were playing everything
And so these kids now, I mean, like these kids are 11, 12 years old, and they are catching at such a high rate, or they're playing football and hitting. Like, I'm sitting here watching some kids throw a football at 10 years old. They're throwing a football 35, 40 yards down the field accurately. Have you seen the kid that's like 9, 10, 12 years old or whatever he is, and he looks like he's a boxer, and he's just got perfect form, and he's like 13 years old. It's insane. But these kids, they're dedicating their lives earlier and earlier and earlier to one sport. So that's my theory on it. He did ask me, I wanted to address it, and that's my theory on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think most of the kids are dedicating themselves to one sport, and they're just putting everything they can into one sport. When we were growing up, and I mean, this is in the 90s for us, but we're growing up and we're just trying to play whatever, and then we'll figure it out as we go along. But we just like going outside, period. It's not like that anymore, where everything is centered around the technology, centered around cell phones, centered around tablets. And for us, it was a punishment not to go outside. It's different now. So when we got outside, we're, like you said, whatever ball is there, then we'll do it. If we're going to play basketball, we'll play basketball. If we're going to play football, let's get football. And then we didn't need a field to play football. We're playing in the streets. And we're sometimes even playing tackle football in the streets.
Yeah, so, and that hurts.
Yeah, and that's horrible. That's horrible.
Or when you walk outside and all you find is a broomstick and a golf ball. Play baseball that way.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, you catch that golf ball just right, it hurts when you get hit in the face. And then you show up to football practice, and your coach is like, "Why can you not see out of your left eye?" "Oh, I got hit in the golf ball this afternoon." "What were you doing?" "Oh, we were playing baseball." "With a golf ball?"
Yes.
Okay, go out there, but don't screw up. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and so that,
or cutting your fingernails off with a machete. Did I tell you that story? I've cut my fingernails off with a machete trying to build a tree house. And then I went out to football practice the next day with a whole bandage on my hand, and I was like, "Coach, I don't know how well I'm gonna play." He goes, "You're my best corner. Get out there." And I'm like, "Even with this mid on?" He goes, "What did you do?" I was like, "I cut my fingernails off with a machete." He goes, "I'm surprised you didn't cut your hands off." I was like, so he goes, "Get on the field." I'm like, Yes, sir.
So this is what we were dealing with in the 90s, and then we would just go outside and we're just trying to get involved in anything.
Yeah, really. Treehouse with a machete. How does that even work? You should see me hammering with a machete. That was the comical thing.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, I agree, because it was just whatever activity we could get into, we were trying to do that, and then we weren't figuring that out until maybe high school, if not after we get out of high school. Whereas now, yes, the kids are more dedicated to one sport, and they're putting everything into that one sport, and they are picking it up good at that Pee-wee level. So yeah, I agree with you there. Well, y'all, that will conclude this edition of the BOFASports Origin Story Series, Season 2. And before we leave, just for a quick message, Patrick had mentioned where sports is that ultimate unifier, where people can come from different backgrounds, religions, genders, whatever it is, to get together for a couple of hours, if not a few hours, for the common goal of rooting for a team, or maybe it's a player. But that's one of the few spots where you can actually be human. And that's what this show is about, being human. Here you can come on and we don't care what nationality you are, what gender you are, what occupation you have. To us, you are people. And we hope you look at us like that as well. You can come on here, you can relax. You don't have to be buttoned up. You don't have to have this appearance, this image that you're trying to uphold. You can come on here, you can let your hair down, you can be at ease, and you can be people, because really that's what, and have fun, because that's what sports is about. That's what life is about. And this is, in my eyes, not trying to gas up this show, but I feel we are one of the few shows where you don't have to be that way. If we tell you that it is just a conversation, just is a normal conversation, that's what it's going to be. You have seen the show enough times to understand that. And I feel we do a good job of being there in that space. So just remember that as you continue to watch the show, and understand we're people just like everybody else, and we love the interaction that we can bring with that, because it's just about being human at the end of the day. We're all human beings, and we're going to be that before whatever occupation, and hopefully we are that after whatever occupation you have. So with that, that will conclude this edition of the BOFASports Origin Story Series. That is what we are breathing on for this evening. So y'all make sure y'all visit the BOFASports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the BOFASports Facebook page. So that is it. We'll be back Tuesday with our college football preview, and then we'll have another episode coming on up next Thursday, episode 3 coming on up. Got a great guest.
And I'm going to go ahead and throw her on blast. It's my Aunt Tareen.
so we got a great guest coming on up, Aunt Tareen. I'm pretty much honorary nephew too. But everybody,
yeah, you got to show up now.
Everybody take care, and we hope you enjoyed this show. And for everybody who got to tune in and watch it, thanks for those views. We will see you next Tuesday.
And if you have any questions about us that we didn't cover in this show, drop them in those comments and we'll get to them.
All right, y'all take care. See y'all next week.
And go Dogs.